Godlin's Prophecy software bridges the gap between your enterprise resource planning ERP suite and the real-time activity on your shop floor. Prophecy is a web-based, customizable, open automated software user interface that can be used to monitor and control production equipment, display production metrics, provide a variety of alarm conditions, and exchange information with your ERP software. In this video, we're going to demonstrate a real-world application that was designed to help a customer get control of some of their inventory variances. The customer is a plastics manufacturer using Infor's Cloud Suite industrial software. They use production schedules to control their workflow through a number of plastic blenders and extruders. Their actual manufacturing bill of materials frequently didn't match their ERP BOM. Shortages of blender components would result in substitutions on the shop floor. The actual component percentages would deviate from the BOM because of environmental conditions. It was cost ineffective to provide an ERP license to every machine operator on the shop floor. In a large, fast-moving production environment, the production schedule BOMs could not be updated to reflect the as-built status. There was no mechanism to capture inventory consumption associated with the production of scrap material, which could be a significant percentage of the inventory consumed. These gaps regularly resulted in thousands of pounds of inventory variances for each production schedule. The Prophecy solution combines operator selections with automated inputs from the blender and the scale. The solution is deployed as a web client, which can be accessed wirelessly with a tablet or laptop computer at the workstation. At the beginning of a production run, the user selects a production schedule release from the drop-down. This list comes from the ERP software. The Update button is pressed to initialize other dependent fields. A production schedule release may have multiple finished good items, so the desired finished good to be produced is selected from the second drop-down. Pressing the Finished Good Item Update button loads the release BOM information, expected weight information, and other reference information associated with this item. In the initial setup, the operator will use the blender operator interface to verify or make alterations in the components to be supplied to the blender. The BOM provides the basic recipe for the item to be produced, but may be modified by the user. The percentage of each component is controlled from the blender. The Prophecy interface reads and reports the percentages and feed rate from the blender. If, for some reason, there is no communication with the blender, the operator can override the automatic input and manually set the percentages. In this example, we'll add an additional component to the mix. We select the component to be added or changed from the list on the right of the screen, and add it to the line representing the blender input where it will be used. When we return to the production line operator interface, we see that the actual blend reflects the changes that were made in the blender interface. When a roll of plastic is completed, it's placed on the scale, which is connected via Bluetooth to the OAS data collection engine. The operator presses the Read Scale button to lock in the measurement. The actual measurement is compared against the tolerances from the ERP. If the roll is out of tolerance, the variance is shown in red to alert the operator. If the scale isn't available, the weight may need to be manually entered. Once the weight is acceptable, the operator presses the Accept button, which transfers the data to the ERP. Using the measured weight and the percentages of each component of the blend, the Prophecy software calculates the quantity in pounds of each component's contribution to the finished product. Entries are automatically made in the Workcenter Material Error Processing table, showing the raw material issued to the Workcenter. This ensures that the raw material consumption recorded in the ERP accurately reflects the materials issued to the Workcenter for production. Backflush flags for these materials are turned off in the production schedule release BOM. The Workcenter Material Error Processing entries may be manually processed at the end of the workday or set to automatically process as they happen. A significant amount of production ends up as scrap for one reason or another. This scrap is recycled and issued back to inventory as a raw material. At the end of a production run, the scrap is collected and weighed. The weight is entered manually into the operator interface. The operator enters an estimate of the time consumed producing the scrap. The reason is selected from the drop-down menu, which is driven from the ERP. The blend type, mixed or natural, is specified. The operator then presses the Reject Scrap button. This triggers a number of activities by Prophecy to update the ERP so that the accounting is done properly. Prophecy will populate a custom scrap downtime data table that the customer uses for analysis and reporting. The actual scrap produced is issued as a negative quantity on the Work Center Material Error Processing Table, effectively placing it into inventory. The warehouse scrap location is updated to add the new quantity of scrap. The raw materials that comprise the scrap are issued to the Work Center. Implementing the Prophecy solution helped this client gain more precise control of their inventory management, reconciled differences between the production release BOM and the as-built material, automatically made accounting entries that accurately reflected activity on the manufacturing floor, and tracked the raw materials associated with the creation of scrap. This resulted in savings of hundreds of thousands of dollars, resulting from accurate material reporting, and greatly reduced the necessary effort to reconcile physical inventory counts with accounting records.